Okay, good morning YouTube. As I promised, I said I'm gonna make a video about this 10-watt LED lights and how to make the radiator or the heatsink. And as you see, as I said before, today is kind of a cloudy day, and I'll show you how good these lights are working. I'm gonna turn them off one by one. Of course, I took the cover off of that last one over there so I can show the inside and how the LEDs are set up in there. So I'm gonna turn all the lights in the kitchen off so you'll be able to see what kind of a difference it makes when they're on or they're off. This is how I installed them in the fluorescent box up there. Installed one there and one there and wired them up through the attic to the switches. I'll make a video, or if I have time today, I'll show you the wiring. That it's pretty simple. I use the 16 gauge drop cable to go to the switches and the power source. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the lights back on and you'll see the effect of these lights. These are the outer counter lights, they're on. And I'm gonna turn these two lights on here. Okay, there's a big difference. It lights up the kitchen very good. As I said, I was hoping to get my video camera today, but I didn't, so I'm still using my cell. I'll redo it when I get my video camera. Okay, I'm gonna turn that light off, and oh, here's my cat. He's coming to check you guys out. Hey, kitty. Okay, this is how bright they are without the diffuser on. They're 60 degrees angle lens, and they have two kinds, 120 and 60. I use the 60 so I have more concentrated light down here on the sink and all around. Okay, I'm gonna get the ladder, go up there and show you how I hooked them up to the fixture. Okay, here we are. I turned these two off so it wouldn't blind the camera. This is the heatsink I made out of the scratch, and this is the driver that I used. It regulates the input power from 8 volt to 18 volts. And the good thing about this regulator is that if you crisscross the positive and negative to the regulator, it'll still will light on the LED. This is the 10-watt LED. I used number 2 screws, and that's the heat transfer paste. You can see a little bit of it over there. This is the positive, that's the negative. The positive on the LED, sorry for the shaky video guys, I'm on the ladder and one-handed. This is the spot. They usually mark it with a dot or spot so you know it's the positive end. And once you go through the driver, it doesn't matter if you hook up your power source, positive or negative, it will work. That's the good thing about the driver. You can use both AC and DC to drive to turn the light on. Right now I'm using my batteries, so I just use one screw tie it to the fixture, and this is the wire that comes to this connector here from the LEDs, and this is a drop cable I used that goes into the attic. You can see it right there, and I of course grounded it over here. These I got from Radio Shack. They're can handle up to 10 amps, and there's a 30 amp version of it. It's a little bigger. I'll show you a sample of them so you can see the difference. And this wire here takes the power to the other one right here. As again, this is the LED with the 60-degree lens on it, and the driver and the connector. It's pretty simple. Just be careful when you tie those number two screws, you don't break it, because it's kind of cheaply made. Those foreign countries, they don't make them real good. That's probably why they're so cheap. I got those LEDs for like $7 a piece, and the driver was 10 of them for like $20, so they're like $2 a piece. The aluminum bar, I got it from the metal store. I cut it in pieces. I paid for like $5-6 for 4 feet of it, and it works pretty good. I'm gonna go down and turn them back on and show you the components separately. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm gonna turn that light back on again. There you are. The first step is kind of difficult. It's not difficult, it's a challenge. You haven't done it, it's the first time you're doing it, so you must consider all your options, how you want to do it, where do you want to put it, and what kind of wiring you use. The wires I used are working perfect. They don't overheat or causing problems, and the lights are working okay. And those heat sinks are working very good. Now I'll show you the components that are involved on those lights. This is the LED. It's a pretty good size. This is the front of it, and that's the back of it. That's where you put the paste when you want to install it on the heatsink, like so. And I used number 2 screws, and they got bolts with them to attach the LEDs to this bar. You can see this bar is about 4 1/4. That's how long I cut it, and the width of it is about 2 inches, and the height of the heatsink is about 1/2 inch, a little more than that. It does the job good. It works. Versus the $5-6 a piece on eBay, this works. These are the flat LEDs that I showed you on the previous video. I'll show you again. Are these LEDs down here under the cabinet. This is the warm light. This is the cool white. This is how they look like. I use 24 gauge, solder them, and I use double-sided tape to put it on the cabinet. And I used double-sided tape to secure these wires around. Over here I use the straps. They both come in. I use one of these connectors. This is one line, this is the second line for one switch and the second switch, and this is the ground wire. Okay? Alright. So these have the drivers built in the back. So it doesn't matter how you connect your positive or negative. There is no positive or negative. Either way it will work. And AC and DC it will work. This is the driver for this LED. These two wires here at the end solder to the LED. Oh, and this is the, I don't know if you can see, this spot here, the hole here, marks the positive LED right there. This is another kind of LED. This is 10 millimeter wide, and it's got a long cable, about 200 millimeters. I use this outside to decorate the tree, and I'll make a video at night to show you the effects of that one too. To attach the LED on the heatsink, I used the Cooler Master heat paste that came from one of their CPU coolers, and it worked good. And these are the connectors. This is the 30 amp, which is a little bigger than the 10 amp. They come like this in a piece, so I cut whatever I like from it and use it. This is the switch that I used to install my lighting. They're like $2, $3 a piece. Got two terminals, one here, and you direct the wire from down here, and it has notches, 4 notches that you break to allow the wire to go through. But if you have the hole that the wire comes in from on the wall, you don't have to do that. The reason I broke these to get my wires in, because my wire's coming from here and go in one switch and coming out and so on. I used the 18 gauge sprinkler wire from the fuse panel up in the attic to these lights here, and it's working okay. I have all separate wiring for my lighting, so I didn't go through the 120 volt wiring system. You can see the notch down here that the wire goes through. These are good switches. For my purpose, they work. And they're easily replaceable and easy to work with. Be careful when you cutting this notch. Be very careful. I broke 2 of them because if you're a little harsh, it'll break the whole thing. That's the bad thing about those. These white ones have screws that attaches it to the base. These black ones, they kind of snap in like that. Got 2 springs on the side that catches the base plate like that. Little noisy because I installed it on the vent, but it's okay. It works. The other thing I did, I replaced all the bulbs on my lawn, on the Malibu lights. I installed these LEDs. These LEDs work great. They're kind of bluish, but I would say it's a cool white, around 6,000 Kelvin, 6,500 Kelvin, and they give a good light because they got those LEDs on the side, and the one on the top shoots the light all around. And this has the positive and negative. If you install it in the slot wrong, they won't come on. It won't damage or anything. You just have to take it out and twist it 180 degrees and put it back in the slot, and they'll work fine. They're good lights. But just doing these, my electricity bill from $90 came down to $10 a month. By just using these kitchen lights, the counter lights, and the living room lights, my bill came down significantly. I was able to save money to buy some more stuff. This was the basic, as I showed you on my previous video, for the lighting that I used. And if you have any questions, or if I missed something or overlooked something, please feel free to ask, and I'll be glad to correct it or give you your answer. That's basically my kitchen lighting with the switches I used and the lights that I have right now that lights up pretty good. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, guys.